So I'm going to show you about the watercolor station that's really part of the painting station, okay? So today I'm going to go over where you can find your supplies and a couple little tips when you're dealing with watercolors, all right? So first thing, you're going to be using different kind of paper, and the paper that you're going to get will be over in front of the window in a bucket that says watercolor paper, okay? It is special paper. It is a little bit, it's a little better on holding the water, because if you ever paint on regular paper, what happens is after you work on it a couple of minutes, what happens is it becomes overworked and you actually peel right through the paper. Now watercolor paper is a little different because it uses a little bit more effort to kind of get through watercolor paper, okay? Now you can ruin it, but it takes a little bit longer to do, all right? Now where you're going to pick up your supplies is in this bucket. Now this bucket has a couple of different things in it. First off, it says regular watercolors and special watercolors. There are a couple of different trays in here, okay? The pan trays, all right, that's what they're called. There's metallic and there's glitter kind, all right? But you don't have to use those, all right? It is an option, it's fine, but there are many regular watercolor trays in here, okay? Another thing that if you would like to try at some point, which is absolutely fine, you can always use the watercolor pencils. These are unique, kind of really neat. They work the same as watercolors, okay? But they're pencils. You color them and then you add water, all right? Now next to them, there are in this bin, okay? I'm using these as for watercolors. They are not to be used for paint, acrylic, okay? So these are watercolor trays. So what you do is you would actually use this to mix colors with. Now how I would actually do that is I would get a little bit of water. So I dip, you know, from water there, and I would take a little bit and kind of pour little pools in here, all right? So when I was mixing my colors, I would get a little bit of red, mix it in here, wash off my brush, wash it off because you don't want to be contaminating other colors, okay? And then I would get the other color, and then when I mix in here, all right? So these are mixing trays for just watercolor. They would be very easy to wipe out, okay, to clean. You can use a hot water or just wipe it out with a regular paper towel, okay? But they go back into the bucket here, the bin. Now the one below it, all right, these are a couple other things that you might want to use for your project. Salt, all right, I have some straws if you want to try to blow the watercolor around. Maybe over time I might add some more things, but right now that's just those two things in there, okay? You will probably need paper towel, okay? So paper towels are great tools. They will soak up any pools of water that you have, or if you were trying to get like a lifted look, okay? So kind of like clouds, you can kind of dab on it. Also, I find that when I have a really wet brush, if I want to deal with a dry brush, I might want to, you know, dry it off, okay? Bins. On the bottom, they're separated into three little categories, well, little containers here. I would not fill this all the way up. I would fill it just enough for the three on the bottom, so you have three different spots that you can wipe off your dirty paintbrush. Paintbrushes. Talk about paintbrushes. So you're probably going to find that there's a whole bunch of different paintbrushes in here. One, there's something called a round. So this is a round because it's rounded at the top. Okay. Another one are flats. All right. They are great for different reasons. Okay. You might have a flat edge that you just want a nice clean look for. This would be great. Rounds are good for getting into small little spaces. Remember, you don't want the wrong tool for the wrong job. If you have a small space, small paintbrush. Large paintbrush, large space, okay? So also you'll find that there are ones that are a little bristly, okay? These might be good for dry brushes, all right, to give it a rough texture. Same thing with the fan brush, okay? You might want to just kind of brush over things, okay, or use a really wide area. All right, so different brushes, different things. And I know that splatter is always a fun one. Toothbrushes, great. Dab in, you know, just spray back like this, and it can definitely go into spaces that you want. If you want, okay, it to be an area only one specific area and you don't want it to be another one, use a masking technique where you cover over what you don't want and you kind of like can cover it there. Okay. Watercolors, by the way, are very easy to clean up. A little hot water and bristle side back up. Okay. Other stuff that you might need to know is that when you are done with them, they go on the drying rack. Okay. To make sure that everything is all good. If you want, you can take your paper, all right, you can tape it down if you feel like it's starting to curl on you, but you don't have to. I know that was one of the suggestions in the videos, not a must. Other than that, that's pretty much it that you need for watercolors, okay? I know a lot of times people want to outline. I would not outline with a Sharpie. If you really need to, like maybe thin pen might be okay, but honestly, watercolors look beautiful, even without, you know, outlining at all, okay? And that's pretty much it.